do this right now. All right, hello everyone, welcome back. If you're joining us again off that previous stream, if you're joining me elsewhere, I see you over there. Garrett, just so you know, past episodes, where to see these, because I am at, what is it, third, I don't know what day it is. It's Tuesday, February 9th. So I really only have 2 more challenges after... What is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? I have 2 more days, but basically go to behance.app/live and you can scroll down. And honestly, through this link, you can go ahead and see all the past challenges, behance.net/challenge/Illustrator. Sorry, just like my brain, it took it a second for it to kick in. So, yeah. Bought your first tablet in early November and you loving it? It's iPad Pro. Oh, awesome. 11-inch, or that's great, fantastic. You could do this same thing, by the way, on the iPad. My iPad's dead, but a lot of these same things apply. But today what we're going to do is, as you scroll down, you see optical illusion. If you miss an exercise, of course, just scroll to one you want to watch that video, get the started file. That's what we're doing now. We're getting the started file. You'll see it right here. It doesn't look like much, right? It always seems perfectly innocent, but it should be a good time. So, hello, Edwin from Massachusetts. Farrah Manley's in the house. Hello, Farrah. How the heck are ya? Oh, Space Kid and Close One. I'm so glad you didn't miss today. This is the starter file, and this is where we're just going to do some fun. I don't kind of like, I don't even know what you call them, optical illusions. I have this book as well, so we could talk about this stuff all day long, but I love this book. It's called Masters of Deception, which is really cool, and has all sorts of cool artwork. A lot of people think of MC Escher, so we could talk about how you can create sort of MC Escher type looks, but let's just kind of have fun tricking the eye, whether things are going in or going out, right? We'll create some of this stuff, should be pretty easy, right? And we're going to use the blend tool in 3D shapes. All right, so we can come over here. Let's start with one of these. Let's start with this. This simple shape. This just has... It looks like it has a couple things going on with it. Maybe I didn't delete all the lines, right? I did not delete all the lines. There we go. Just so you know, and this happens a lot, like this actually had extra lines. I could do Command Y, and you can see there's actually 2 lines in there. And that's my fault. So you could always select one of those, right, and hit delete twice. Delete once if you have the direct selection. Delete twice will delete everything. But that's how you can see kind of what's going on. But all this is just a path with a gradient on it. And I've included a ton of gradients in these files. We can see right over here. Right, so we could do this. Perry, what's up? We'll grab another rounded rectangle tool. We could draw kind of on the inside as well. Drawing a different shape. Doing it at a different angle, right? Shrinking it down, okay, like so. Your preferences might be different than mine, just so you know, because mine currently is set to not scale the strokes and effects. You could always go into preferences. This is the most common preference that I'm constantly toggling, is whether I want to scale the strokes and effects or not, okay? But that's what's going on. We'll select both of these. We just need 2 shapes, and then we could use the blend tool. Bonus points if you know when we included the blend tool in Illustrator, but we click on one shape and then click on another shape, and usually I hit the exact same point, right? And then you can see it generates this blend. Right, we can see what the blend is all about by double clicking on the blend tool. That's just an easy way. It's a shortcut for a lot of these tools, is just by double clicking on it. And now you can get to those options. The options are also under edit. Yes. So we want to go ahead and go with specified steps, and we can do something like 20. And now we can see those specified steps. We can make this 10, click OK. You can see it's going to do the obvious, right? So we have the blend. We can jump in here. We could take this. We could shrink it down some more. We can rotate it, right? We can change the thickness of this line, right? Let's take this down, right? And then taking it down to, say, 1 or 2, shrink it down, rotating it, right? And we could see we get some different shapes, okay? So this is pretty cool. This is what I want to get into now. Like this is okay. I think this like works out okay, and I can adjust both of these, okay? And these can be different shapes and all that stuff, right? That gets to be pretty fun. Let's have some more fun with this, and let's just move this shape off to the side, because let me show you a different way of doing this. Anytime you want to create a number of objects that are all, I don't know, pretty much the same, right? We want to create a cool nautilus, so let's draw this out again, right? Let's go ahead and round the corners. Now this time, rather than using the blend tool, I'm going to go to Effect, Distort, and Transform, and we're going to do Transform. Okay? Space Kitten, Bruce, Rick, everybody, Perry over there, I see ya. Let's take a look at this. This is so awesome. Distort and Transform. Do you ever use Transform? I'm curious if people do. Use this Transform, and now I get this Transform effect. What did I just do? I kind of like shrunk it down and rotated it. Well, this is the power of this, is we can create copies. So I can say, hey, you know what? Go 105 degrees, make a copy that's 5 degrees larger, and again, don't forget to make a copy. Make a copy of 1. Hit tab. Right? Let's also rotate it 5 degrees. And this might not be enough. It's just you're gonna have to play with it. But now let's go ahead and make a number of copies. Let's make 20 copies. Boom, there it is. We now have 20 copies of this cool spiral. So the more we add 100, right? We get this trippy like Nautilus look, and it's actually rotating it, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Angela Herman's used it before. Fantastic. So I think this is a lot of fun that we can play with the horizontal. The scale, we can move it, and we can also rotate it, and we can do some offsets. So this is almost limitless what you can do. It's just amazing, okay? So now I'm gonna have like all the fun that we want. In fact, there it is. There's all that craziness. What's cool is this is all tied to the original object. So if I decide I want to make the lines thinner, and I really apologize that there are other things on my screen, so let's just do this. Let's cut this. Let's move these others out of the way. Zoom in, paste it. There we go. So I just made the lines thinner, right? But you can go in and it's all references back. Oh, shoot. This sometimes happens, and I hate it that this actually happens. Sometimes when you do a copy and paste, it will get rid of the effect, and that might be a glitch. But in general, this is tied to the original shape. As I change the color, right, and the thickness of that stroke, right, you guys get the idea. Let's hide these other. There we go. I just wanted to hide these other items. They're just getting in the way. I don't need them. Okay, so pretty impressive. Cool thing is, we go back in here, we can go to our properties panel. There's our transform effect. We'll click on it, and we could do some other things. Let's rotate it. Do we rotate it some more? Yeah, let's do 10 degrees. And all you have to do is hit tab, and it will go ahead and add that particular rotation. 2 degrees, right? You get a ton of different effects that you can do, which is pretty fun, right? And you can go smaller as well. So you can go in, you can go out, you can rotate it. You could do it off the corner point. You ready for this? Watch as I go to the corner. I just had it rotate off the lower left corner, right? And then it does this crazy spiral out the other direction. Yeah, totally like a spirograph. That probably would have been a better name for this challenge. But super cool what you can do, right? Let's have it go to the right, click, 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 click. You guys get the idea. I'm just having fun messing around with this. Okay, cool. You guys get the idea. Let's move on. Click OK. Froja's like, you got to move on, Paul. Everybody gets it. Right, but super cool what we could do, right? And again, take that shape, shrink it down some more. Oh, look at that gorgeousness. And let's have some more fun with this, right? So we made our fun spiral graph where we can kind of travel through this tunnel. Let's do some more things. I do things with 3D a lot. Let's turn back on these. So we did the blend tool. Everybody kind of understands how that is being used. I don't know why I did this. I don't know why I did this circle, to be honest with you. I have no idea. Why did I add that circle? Maybe it was to apply this. Oh, let's do this. You ready for this? Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple things here. We have this shape. We have this shape. Let's take this half circle, okay? And let's go ahead and make it a 3D object. We're gonna go to 3D and we're gonna revolve it. So we're gonna revolve it around the, and it's already set up that way, left edge, or it might say right edge, right? So this is left edge, right? I'm doing the left edge, probably because I'm left-handed. It doesn't matter if I rotate this around because it's obviously a sphere, so it's not gonna change. But the cool thing about this is we can map art to it, right? So we can map art to this cool shape. So we'll click OK, we'll click OK. There's my 3D revolve. Also, what's cool about this is we could change the color. But first, we need to, let's apply, I don't know, some squares to this really fast. Okay. So let's throw down some squares. I want to do basically a checkerboard pattern. So I'll just turn off those other layers. I'll go to the rectangle tool. I'll change it to black, right? And I'll draw out a rectangle like so. And I'll make sure that this appearance panel just reduce base to basic appearance. Don't add any crazy effects. It actually had a crazy effect on it. But now we can take this, move it over, snap it into place. Command D, right? D, like that. Right, we could select all these. I actually want to select every other one. I know this is kind of tedious, but this is the best way that I've determined that to make like a checker pattern. You might have a faster way. Please let me know, right? But I'm just making this checker pattern. Cool thing is you don't really have to make this because I've already made it for you if you've downloaded this starter file. So move that over. There that is, right? I typically have this actually snap to object. It should be set up that way. Yes, it is. Command D. There's our checker pattern. By the way, what are we going to do with this, right? We're actually just going to put it in our symbols panel. So I just showed you how to make it, but I've included some of these checker patterns already. So you know how to do this. Take that, drag it in here, and say Paul's new checker. There we go. Okay. So I thought it'd be fun to take a checker pattern. Let's just delete that. And let's go back to our sphere. Here's our lovely sphere. We'll take this sphere and now we'll map the symbol to it. So we'll go to 3D revolve, shabam. Command D is the love of my life as well. We are designers with just simple pleasures. It doesn't take much to make me happy. All right, so what's happening here is I've gone into map art and I can show there's one of four surfaces. There's this one, then there's this one. There's a slight difference. They look almost the same, but this is the inside of this, what is it? Revolve? Yes, it's the inside of the revolve. So you want to go to, you have number 4 of 4, you have 1 of 4, you have the edges, and then you have 4 of 4, which happens to be the outside. 4 of 4 is what we want. We want that surface, right? And now let's go ahead and map our new pattern to it. And we will scale it to fit, and that's more along the lines of what I want. Click OK. We could rotate this. Now we're getting something a little bit more interesting. All right. Space Kittens in the house. Michelle. Oh, Michelle likes the black and white. Let's make a black and white version because this is actually taking the color from the stroke right over here. It's like, you know what? I kind of don't want that as the stroke, as we can see over here. You know, let's just change that to white. When we change it to white, it's going to change it to white. Samantha Brown, of course, it still doesn't have that flat look that I want. I want this to have a flat look. Don't add that shading. Oh, I love map art, by the way. This is huge. We'll go to 3D Revolve. So we're back in here, right? And we've been mapping art. We mapped the checkers to it. It's doing this cool effect, which would be so much harder if we tried to do this any other way. And let's just change this to no shading. Boom. There we have no shading. And we can start to manipulate this any way we want. Okay. Do something like that. You get the idea. Okay. We could increase the angle, actually, as I take a look at it, is the perspective. We can make this, we can adjust sort of how flat some of those lines are versus how stretched out those squares get. Okay. Just by playing with that perspective. Cool. Typically, by the way, like I can grab this. Sometimes you'll mess with it, like you'll scale it up, and it's applying that effect to that original shape. So you will have to go back into 3D Revolve and maybe mess with this. So I encourage you to get it right first. But the great thing is you can go ahead and duplicate it. You can expand its appearance, right? And now we have this as the actual shape that I can kind of scale up and down. Let's have some more fun with this, because we've learned some things the other day. I think this is fun because we actually don't know if this is going in or out. Right? But there we have it. Right? You guys get the idea. But let's do some other things with this. Now, I showed this to you guys the other day, and thanks for joining me. I'm checking the time. I got 7 minutes. I got time. Something I did the other day. Let's just do this. We're going to make a circle. Zoop. Remember how we added the gradients? Let's go over there. Let's add a gradient to this. It's going to be a radial gradient. Hello, Paul. You are getting crazy at some point because look at all these gradients that are in here. Let's get rid of that. We're going to make the center black. We're going to make the outside white like that. And we just have our standard sort of burst. And you can see it right there. There's that radial gradient. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into effect. And I showed you this a couple days ago, was color halftone. You know, this allows us to create all those fun little dots that we love. You're going to have to play with the radius. Let's do 20. It might be too large. And then make sure all these numbers are exactly the same. Okay, because it's actually up to you. If you want different color channels, CMYK, add those here, right? Let's just click OK just to show you what's going to happen. Creates all these Ben-Day dots, as I quickly remembered thanks to somebody on Twitter. But let's go back in there and do it again. So made those Ben-Day dots. Let's go into color halftone. I made that 20 pixels. Let's do 100 pixels. Click OK. Now we get these big, gorgeous dots. This is kind of what I was thinking. You know? It's not bad. So there's this version. Let's duplicate it. Shoop, make a second version. And let's edit this color halftone to make sure all of the channels are exactly the same number. The same degree offset. When you do that, make sure all the channels are exactly the same. So again, it's going to make it all black as opposed to offsetting it. Do whichever one you want. And once you have that done, go into the symbols. And we have to make it a lovely symbol to map this art to any 3D shape. So you take this, drop it in here. Now we have circle dots, right? Seems. I always go with the first name I think of, right? And there's my circle dots. And then here's a color version I've already made. So now what we could do is we could like take this one, for instance. Remember, I have this one, I have this one. Let's duplicate it. Oops. Oh, I broke it. Some days you break things. What did I just do? Doesn't matter. Okay, so here's this half circle, by the way. There it is. I'm just going to change it to white. I'm going to go into 3D revolve just like we did before. There's our magic sphere. We'll make sure there is no shading on it, and then we'll map art to it. And in this instance, we're going to map this to the new... I already undid it. Nonetheless, there's that symbol, scale to fit. Click OK. There we have those dots. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do this one more time. I undid this a couple times. Let's go back in there and fix it. Map art. See how it's stretching it out? Let's map this new symbol of dots that I just made, right? We could scale it to fit if we want to, or just click OK, and we can rotate this into place. And you can start to see, this is just an easy way to make those dots sort of wrap around a sphere, okay? Notice how there's some, and I'm sorry this is so hard to see. I snapped it out of existence. That sounds horrible. I don't want to, who am I? Can't be snapping stuff out of existence. Scale to fit, stretches it out. Right? If you don't want it stretched out, you can shrink it down. Notice how this actually has some transparency on it. So if I was smart, I would actually go in and I would have this symbol actually contain all white. So I would have a rectangle. Let's draw this out really fast. Set it to white, put it in the background, right? This is my symbol that I want, right? So that's what I just did. Hopefully I edited that. And we're learning all sorts of things. Don't have transparency on it if you can help it. There it is. Scale to fit. And even scale to adjust, because I don't like how it's stretching it out. Let's make these actual circles. Kind of like that. Ugh. All right, you get the idea. Move that in a little bit. Just click OK. All right. Let me know if you guys have questions. Hello, Perry and SDA and Diane. All right. We could start to rotate this. And this is how you make like the AT&T logo and stuff like that, just so you know. That seam is a little off. Again, if I spent more time on this, I can work it out, but let's just go ahead and click OK. There's our AT&T logo. I need to make that exactly perfectly lined up, but you guys get the idea. All right. I would snap things into existence. I would snap more time into an existence. Let's look at some of these final ones I made. Right, really easy. If we take a look at this sort of, I don't even know what you'd call it, some Oculus thing, is done with the transform. So we can see I just rotate it by 11 degrees, rotate it by 5 degrees, right? And we can start to see the different changes and fun that we could do with the transform effect, right? Let's make it 2 degrees, and let's make the copies like 30. Or 40. Let's double it. All right, you guys get the idea. Cool. I'm just having fun now and showing you kind of some of these finals. There's one, here's one. You guys get the idea. That's how they did the AT&T logo. This is also how they do the Orange Theory logo. The Orange Theory splat, all it really is this. That's all they did, right? Could you imagine kind of creating this otherwise? I mean, you could do it, but this was certainly an easier way. Yeah, so many applications. I just like to think of like, just because it says 3D doesn't mean you have to, you know, use it solely to make 3D objects, but you get the idea. So feel free, have fun, create what you want, whether it's a sphere like so, this Nautilus, this trippy thing, as you can see, and there's more we can do as well. I didn't even get into repeat grid. I thought of doing the in and out like a fish and a bird, like the MC Escher fish and bird situation. I was working on that on my iPad, harder than it looks. So I'll save that for another day. You know, 3D in Illustrator is like the easiest way to get in 3D and is the most flexible because, again, you could always make it vector. And it is vector, sort of under the hood, if you will. But so is a lot of 3D. But thank you guys so much. You guys are great. Thank you, Frojo, Wade, and Samantha, Renee, and everyone. Perry, that's all I have for you. I'll try to get some of this posted to the Discord, and I hope you do as well. Here's the Discord link, as you guys can see. Cool. Bookmark this as well, and follow me on all the social medias. Let's just stay in touch. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Linda. Such fun. It is a blast. Appreciate you guys. Stay kind. Get your sleep. Make sure you drink lots of water. I don't know. That's just what my mom tells me, so that's what I do. Talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. See ya.